Before implementing a new analytics plan for your organization, listen to these tips first. Before any type of analytic implementation, you're going to want to make sure that you keep the organization's objectives in mind. And this answers two questions. First, it's going to help you to understand what data you need to collect and what programs you need to use to connect that data or to collect that data. Matching the right analytic program to the problem that you're trying to solve is really paramount. If you're concerned with general site usage and conversions, Google Analytics is the perfect tool. But if you're trying to understand what engagement is like on your site, well, then you're going to want to use technology that allows you to track things like website heat mapping and screen recording, because that's going to give you really valuable insight. After selecting your analytics programs, you're going to want to make sure that now you're paying attention to the right metrics. There's so many, but there's so few that are actually important. So for instance, if you're measuring engagement, some really important metrics are going to be time on page, bounce rate, and the measurement of the actual events or what they're clicking on that page. But if you're an e-commerce shop, some metrics that are really important are going to be cart abandonment rate, they're going to be average order volume, and of course, finally, what that conversion rate looks like. So getting a list of that will help you prioritize which data is going to be important to actually report on when you get to that step. Another thing I want to talk about is when you select all of these different analytic programs, you gotta remember that this data is gonna be siloed, meaning it's just owned by one property. So the first thing I'd recommend is make sure that they do have Google Analytics capabilities to actually plug in to feed that data to some type of centralized hub. It doesn't have to be Google Analytics, but that's just a really popular one. And if you can, that solves obviously the problem for the marketing department to making sure the data comes together, but it's not necessarily putting you in line with your sales organization. So if you wanna be able to actually see which percentage of users are converting and then signing up, or converting and then closing on the sale rather, I recommend using things like CRMs and marketing automation tools like Salesforce, SharpSpring, HubSpot. There's a million of them out there, but the idea is you want to be able to connect that data together for it to talk to one another, and you have a full understanding of what's going on. By not having your data siloed, you're going to have a better idea of the landscape of your marketing efforts and how it's impacting the other departments within your organization. Now I want to talk a little bit more about reporting. And to me, reporting is just another fancy word for I glossed over some numbers. But we need to shift the way we're thinking about that. Instead, think about the KPIs that we talked about in our analytics meetings before, that we said, okay, this is what's really important. And start looking at the numbers and say to myself, what does it say about our business, our marketing initiatives, and about our customers? The idea is that you want to have business insight that creates lasting impact and changes that have some type of impact on your business. The benefits of collecting your own user data can have a big impact on your organization. It can help you find ways to add value to your current products or services. It can help you understand the behavior of users, ultimately enhancing the customer experience. And it can even help you identify which advertising channels are profitable and not profitable. So what we did for you guys is we created an analytic blueprint document. And the idea behind this is that you guys can download the document, you can meet with your team, and now you can actually start to organize your thoughts behind your next analytic implementation. So hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, please subscribe, check out the downloadable link in the post, and keep up with us.